Yo, what's good? It's your boy Kaze, 4 letters, and you rocking right here on the core94.com.
I'm your host, DG Bags, and today we have a very, very, very special guest. We're talking about a lyrical genius, man. Just a creative, you know what I'm saying? Black excellence in the flesh, man. One of my favorite artists right now. We're going to talk about this song, Crossroads, because if anybody who knows me, you know what that movie means to me. Without further ado, Durham's own Mr. Kaze, 4 letters.
Hey, what's good, DG? How you living, man?
Man, I'm good, Kaz, man. How about yourself?
Man, just out here on the grind, trying to stay low from the Rona, stay blessed, and you know what I mean, and find ways to keep reaching the people through the pandemic, man, and catching people on the same vibes, man. So I appreciate you bringing me on, man.
No problem. So speaking of vibes, we're gonna talk about these vibes you got on your wall back there, man. Is that Jimmy and Pop?
Hey, man. So this my home studio right here. You know what I'm saying? We at the crib. We've been held up at the crib since March. You know what I mean? And so out here in Chapel Hill, I have my own recording studio, Vibe House 405. So that's the brand right there, the logo. But we got all the legends back here. So real quick, you know, I know the light glaring, but you got Jimmy back there, you got Bob over there, and you got Pop, you got Prince, you got MJ, you got Phil Collins down there looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And then back there in the back, you got the medley with Aretha and Marvin and Mike, you know, everybody back there. So
I'm loving the vibe.
To surround myself with the energy, you know what I'm saying, that I'm trying to create with, you know what I mean, the legends.
Yeah, it's the Vibe House, man. You got Phil Collins down there, man. Boys don't know, man. We talk about a singer, drummer, you know. A lot of people know about Jimi Hendrix and the Experience, but, you know, I'm a fan of the band of Gypsies. So anybody listen, if you listen to Jimi Hendrix, if you don't know, listen to the band of Gypsies, man. That was his boys that he was back when he was back with in the army with. That was an all-black band. You know what I'm saying? That's when he left the Experience, you know, right before he passed, man. But yeah, man. So man, I want to go right into it, man. Now this Crossroads, man. I look as a guitar player, bro. I love that movie. I love Robert Johnson. I love the whole story. I'm a Karate Kid fan, so any movie with Ralph Macchio. I'm a Steve Vai fan. You know what I mean? That head cutting scene at the end was like fantastic, bro. What made you create this song? What made you create the video? It had to all be one project, bro. It was just genius. You laid it down so beautifully, bro. Please tell me about it.
Well, thank you, man. And I think the energy that I wanted to create with this album, man, and this song was the spirit of, like, you know, my pops is from Mississippi, man. R.I.P. He passed 5 years ago, but he was a jazz and a blues dude. So I grew up hearing the B.B. King and Muddy Waters and Little Walter and you know, just the blues and jazz and all of that stuff that, you know, the liquor house music and all of that type of vibes, you know, I got from my dad, you know. And so you grow up with that, but you come up modern, right? With the rap and the hip hop and the R&B and the way that we grew up in it. And so I was wanting to find a way to put those worlds together, man. I feel like I wanted to show the diversity in who we are and Black people and our music and our sound, because I think a lot of it we've been disconnected from our roots of folk and rock and roll and Southern music and the heritage and that sound. Everybody else uses it, but Black people, we don't use it enough. We don't tap into it enough. Our heritage of this, you know, rich Black tradition and sound that we have in blues and jazz and soul and what comes from Mississippi and Louisiana and North Carolina, that dirty, you know, and even in Texas, and what y'all appreciate. And so all of those things combined, and having grown up watching that movie the same way, bruh, just that being one of my favorite movies, I wanted to find a way to say, like, if you know, to make a statement about diversity and Blackness, and that we are rock and funk and we come from the liquor house and the juke joint, and that sound is us, and find a way to bring that into 2020 with the hip hop and make it be one and pay tribute to that.
And I love it. I see you got this. Why you got the lightning boy in the back? I see it in the logo. Lightning boy.
Energy, man. Energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of game in that movie. That's one of those movies that you watched when you was younger and you liked it for what you liked it for. And then when you, as you older, as a man, you watch it, it's a totally different movie now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, he really got his okay. Like old girl, you know what I'm saying? She said, all right, then, if you don't want me to turn no trick this shit, when he come in here, you knock him on his ass.
You know what I'm saying? And low key, yeah, it is the statement at the beginning about independence, right? Because I've been signed, I've been in these situations and not had it work for me, right? And so to be back independent with this project and this song, to be like that parallel between like what cats feel like they gotta sign themselves or sell their soul in order to succeed, and what we're saying about that, you know, with the industry. So I'm making a low key statement about that as well, and it feel good to be back independent with brothers like yourself that's independent and making moves like this.
Well, let's talk about being signed. When did you first get signed?
So I've been in a couple of situations, man, a couple of deals. I've had distribution. So my first project I put out independently, Spirit of '94. I had distribution with FYE. Got a deal with a label out of Boston, Brick Records. Then they came and pressed it, put it out. Got a deal with a label out in Japan, Handcuts Records, that put out a version of that out there in Japan. And then it went from there. I was signed to Raucous Records 2007 with the Raucous 50, and we put out Block to the Basement. And then I ended up in a single deal with SRC Universal, Steve Rifkin over what was formerly known as Loud Records. Over there around 2009. Did a mixtape, First in Flight, with DJ Who Kid. You know, it was more like an album. It was all original material. Yeah, man, just kept continued to work, you know, but none of those situations really panned out for me, you know, unfortunately, man. I'm one of the cats that would tell you that getting signed, and you know, when you see cats get signed and then you wonder why, what happened next, you know, or damn, I thought they were dope, why they didn't blow up or whatever. And I got, you know, I think I got caught up in that, you know what I'm saying? And so it is to say to come back and be back for the first time and to reintroduce yourself. You have to shake off this air about you that it was something about your talent. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes politics or timing, or the people that at a label may not see the vision in you that you see in yourself, or there's something about you that need to evolve. And so this is me coming back, putting my best foot forward independently. You know, I think that those situations I was signed in, you know, I think they were learning experiences. So I don't knock any. You know, the bread that I was given and the opportunities was blessings, but it ultimately didn't get me where I wanted to go and put me right back home where I was like, damn, bro, like, yo, like, damn, like either I'm gonna give up or I'm gonna figure out some new way to reinvent myself and come back like a better version of myself. And that's what I feel like with this project and these songs, I feel like that's where we at now, bro.
Well, let's talk about that first project, Spirit of '94. Like, what did you record it? How many tracks was on it? You know what I'm saying? And who produced that thing?
Facts. So the very first one, man, you know, everybody knows, shouts out. First of all, shouts out to H-Town, man. I can't, thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't geeking off of it, but like, shout out to H-Town, man, because I came up on that H-Town hip hop culture, rap a lot, you know, Kirko, like I could go on and on. And so, yeah, man, Spirit of '94 was like, for me, that was my first step into Chapel Hill, Raleigh, Durham, our area, the 919, our scene is establishing myself. And so the original album, I produced the whole first version. And I was such a big fan of people like Jay Prince, Master P, Tony Draper and Suave House, and seeing what people was doing independently, that we were like, we're just gonna sell that ourselves. Press them units, was out here with it. And then I got a distro deal with FYE when them was a thing. I don't know if y'all had those in Texas, FYE. And so dropped that, put that out, and then, you know, just started hustling it, man. And that first album caused such buzz around here that the hot producer here in the area is Ninth Wonder. You know, if y'all familiar with Ninth Wonder. And so you end up, you know, and being in the same circles when you're moving like that, because this is before, like, you know, things was really, really huge. We are moving and shaking, and he had just dropped God's Stepson. If y'all remember that, he mixed Nas's joint where he took it and just put all the beats to it, you know, took
the Yuta Man and all that.
Yeah. So when I saw, you know, he came to the crib at that time, we were really close. He came to the crib and I was like, yo, man, will you do the God's Stepson to my album? And I gave him the acapellas, and Ninth laced it. And also Crisis and K Hill from our area laced it as well. And when I put that thing back out, I got to deal with Brick. And then that kind of caught fire, man. It just kind of went around the underground and overseas and put me out there in the underground and a whole different like energy and light. You know what I mean? So that was a big flashpoint for me to just, my first steps into the game were super underground, mic battles, ciphers. That's what I was known for. You know what I'm saying? I met Ninth Battle in Fonte, dead ass. So like that was like a night, you know, where that was the energy around. And then the next day we end up on the phone out of some mutual respect, like, yo, it would be cool to work with each other. Right. And this is before all the everything, you know what I mean? This is broke niggas in Raleigh, Durham.
Yeah, no little brother, no minstrel show.
Yeah, no. Broke niggas in Raleigh, Durham trying to figure out, everybody trying to figure out what they're gonna do at the time. And so, you know, shouts out to them. You know, things change, seasons change, but the piece of work
we not finna skate over this battle, bro. No.
yeah.
What happened with this battle, bro? Because you know, Drake say Fonte, you know what I'm saying, is his guy. He said that's
one of the greats.
Him.
Tay is one of the greats, bro. I'm not here to, you know, that's the thing. And I say that because the era that I'm from, that's my yearbook class. It's Fonte around our area. Tay, Jay Gunn, Josie Moe, Shelly B, Twip. We had a lot, you know, like I said, Little Brother. Like there was an energy around the area at that time in our hip hop scene that was like crazy. Like I put that on anything, and I think that the internet brought a piece of that to a lot of people. But you know, a lot of people looking at it, you know, there was a big scene going on here at that time, and I was, you know, if you had the boroughs in New York, we had Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. I was Chapel Hill's dude at that time, and carrying it that way. And so, and we also had Cat's Cradle, which for cats know that's like our like place where all the hip hop shows go down at. That's in my town, right? And 506, we was throwing our microphone Monday. That was like our lyricist lounge. And so this was all contributing to the culture of the area at that time. J. Cole was coming to my open mic when he was 16. You see what I'm saying? Like that was the energy of like how far I go back. I'm one of the OGs that is back for the first time, like just putting it like that.
Yeah. So what was, you know, J. Cole, the baby, like, you know what I'm saying? How you feel about what they doing and how they putting it down?
I mean, it's a dream come true for a cat like me to see them succeed on that level. It's once upon a time that was far-fetched to be from Carolina and have success like that. So first of all, I'm gonna just shout them out and say, yo, I'm proud of them. And, you know, not like they need my 2 cents, but just to say, like, as a OG, to see some young dudes say, nah, I'm gonna rep Carolina to the fullest and take it to the highest level and represent Carolina in a way that shine back on us and make us look good, make us look like we thorough, you know, as a people. You know, make the motherland look good the way they carry it and represent it. Not to say brothers don't have their bumps and ups and downs or whatever, but to say that, you know, I know a lot of cats in North Carolina like the baby. You know what I'm saying? Like the carry it like that. I know cats in Carolina like Cole. I think it represents both sides of who we are, and there's other sides of who we are. I think I'm another side of who we are in Carolina. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's places like Atlanta and Houston, you have multiple kings, right? New York, there's multiple kings. There's multiple people that represent the culture in every side of the Rubik's Cube. And you know, I think I'm the other side of it. You know what I mean? And me being a little older, I'm more like the 444 Jay-Z side of it. I think they're the young and pop inside, and at the same time maturing into, they run it now. I'm not trying to really compete with them. It's their era. I'm here, like, I think, like I say, in my 444.
You a master in your lane though. Like ain't nobody doing what you doing with no crossroads. Ain't nobody singing in the blues and then barring up at the end, like letting you know it's not a game and then bringing it back around. It's just full of talent, bro. You know what I'm saying? You a king. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Royce, I think to see Royce's success in this moment, and to see Griselda, to see cats, not to say old, not to put no stink on no age, but to see cats mature, like to say they're not in their 20s, they grown ass men, and to still see them have success. I was like, okay, here we are, because I feel like we got that ageism in this where they kind of expire you. You too old. You washed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to like, you know, I had to punch through that because you know I hadn't been out in a while. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
letting
I went
everybody
through
know.
that same thing. I went through that same thing. It was like 2017. I think Joe Budden and Academics had that show. I can't think of the name of it right there with Adeska, and that was the first time like I was getting like the direct word from the youth. Like it was dudes on acting saying, "Man, bro, I don't want to be dirty. I hope I die before I be 30." They be like, "Bro, that you fucking old as shit, bro. He's 29," and I'm like, "Yo, this shit is discouraging." And then I go to mymixtapes.com and it's just shitloads of albums and all the album covers look good and this little dudes and this. I was like, yo, I almost got this close until I realized, hold up, I eat these niggas for nothing. Like, oh, this it's just more food.
Right.
But
But
yeah,
your
yeah,
experience and your perspective is power.
right. And then what hit me was the craziest thing. It was something as small as my mama texting and saying, "What's the Spotify code?" So I'm like, hold up, my mom got a Spotify. So that means everybody. It's not like 10 years ago when only the youth had the internet. So that's why all the little kids was blowing up faster than everybody. When I saw Madonna have to make an Instagram, I said, okay, they didn't crossed over. Now you see what I'm saying? But now Madonna's fans, everybody's 40, 50. My mama got a Spotify, got a Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So now you don't have to cater. You can have your same fan base. That's why you got the new Ralph Tresvant got his new album.
Yeah,
How
love, right?
with or whatever, because you can say it, my fans, I can get right to them. You don't even know like how many records Logic sell or how many records, how many streams MF Doom get. Like you wouldn't even imagine. Like you know what I'm saying? Like what? These are the biggest rappers. Like you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, yeah. So I went through that same thing. So right now you in a perfect, like you a king in your lane, man. Just keep pushing, keep
right.
doing what you got to do. I was Petey Pablo had did an interview with us not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? He was laying
Oh,
it down too. Another dude who repped North Carolina to the fullest.
yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Salute Petey. I mean, you know, that's the thing. I think you when you trying to get ready, you looking at anything for inspiration to say that I can get popping from here. Because now to be for Carolina, I think the next person to come in will just kind of be like, okay, this the next, you know, we got Baby, we got Cole. Now it's like expectations from like Carolina cats to be dope. But once upon a time, it was hard. It was not regulated. You know, you had to kind of that we were looked at like North Cackalack or Kakalaki, like
Yeah.
it was country. And so to have cats come out and ascend to like, nah, these two are the top best, like in the game. What else is going on down there? That's what I want, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And when they ask that question, you'd be, oh, you heard my man Kaze like that's what I want to be like for that, you know what to say, because I'm not the only one, bro. There's a whole lot of cats down here that are hungry, that are super inspired by what they've seen with success with the, you know, the Cole and Baby. You know what I
And
mean?
you know what? And you know, to go on about your deals, you know, even though things ain't turn out the way you wanted to be, but you were signed to some legendary
Right.
labels like Rawkus. Rawkus was rocking with Eminem before the deal. Like this is Mos Def. This is
Pharaoh Monch,
Talib, Pharaoh
Mos
Monk.
Def,
Oh
yeah,
man,
Tyler,
like yeah, like the Rawkus. yo, yo. That's why I used to watch Lyricist Lounge and shit like that. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, man, that was just a beautiful time in hip hop, bro. Like, man, like I remember Pharaoh Monk had a song called "The Truth" with Common and Talib on his album, man. But yeah, man. But what was it
Yeah.
like on Rawkus? And how long were you there before you went to Steve Rifkin?
So I was on about 2007. They had this like they kind of rebooted it because that first era, you know, was so legendary. You know, Company Flow, Black Star, you know, all the people that you named, Pharaoh Monch, you know, Shabam Sadiq. I don't want to forget him; he was dope too.
Was
And
Sadat X over there?
I don't think Sadat was, but they had. I'm not sure, but they did have the sound bombings too. I know you remember
The
those.
Sound Bombing 2 was the one.
Yeah, crazy. You know, Miss Fat Booty was on that. You know, so that's,
Yeah.
you know, what can you say? But I came in when they were looking to reboot it in 2007 with this project called Raucous 50, and so I came in there and I dropped the project Block to the Basement. with them. And this was kind of like when things switched over from selling CDs to being like digital, when the game was going digital and things like that. And I think I was learning a lot about the changeover at that time, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And at the same time, you have expectations about what you think a label is supposed to do for you and should do for you. And then you get the reality of like what the game is. And I think I learned that in that moment. Like, once again, I ain't gonna shit on nothing that happened in it. A learning experience, but it, at the end of the day, it did not bear the fruit for me that I thought that it would be, being in the house that like these legends came from. I wanted to come in on that vibe and that legacy, but it was like a false start. They cranked it up for it to jump back off, but it didn't really jump back off like that because my album came out a couple months later. They shut the label back down.
Damn. Did they give you an advance? What was your biggest advance?
My biggest, so I got, when I got with SRC, I got 50K. That was it was like you had to go through this series of events, and like there was a couple people left at the end, and the winner, they were like, the winner is going to get a single deal and you get a sign with Steve Rifkin, right? And so the last two people were me and a brother named LF Days, and the prize was 100,000 actually. And they liked us both, and so we split that. I took 50, he took 50. So I came with 50K out of that situation, you know. And the thing that I want to like put out, you know, just put out there to people was, I know that was a write-off to them. It wasn't a big deal to them. But at the same time, I just want to put it in perspective for artists. When you talk about getting advances or you get money given to you, you got to live out of that. You got to shoot videos out of that. You got to, you know what I'm saying, fly, transpo, pay bills. If you got, you know, kids or family or whatever in your life, you know, you think that money is much longer than it is. But by the time you pay a couple bills, make a couple plays, and then the IRS pull back up on you for like 20K, 18 to 20K, of that 50, you really working with like 30. Shoot a couple videos, take a couple trips, buy a laptop. Where you at, D?
Shit, 1,500.
1,500. And send your mama something. And you're done. And so I just wanted to put that in, you know, in perspective, that this is shit that I learned all the hard way the first time around, man. You know, and did I handle everything right the first time around? I don't, you know, absolutely not. But I learned, and like I said, I don't think it was any slight on my talent. At the same time, it brought me back to being, I think, exactly where I belong, independent, doing my shit, trying to figure it out, and like coming like and doing like this, you know.
So what's next? What you got going for 2021? You know, say I know we pushing this Crossroads video. You know what I mean? We got anything else going on?
Yeah, man. So just we got the virtual release party we're gonna do online on Facebook and IG this Thursday. So December 3rd at 7:30. So if y'all follow me at Kaze 4 letters on IG, we're gonna go live from that. From the studio that I work at, Maxim Studio on Charlotte. So yeah, that's the next big thing. And then I'll be on What's Poppin' LA online next week, December 9th. So I'm looking forward to that. Just trying to get outside of my market, man. Keep touching people like you and the people out here in H-Town and LA and New York. And yeah, 2021, no. I look forward to, hopefully we get back outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, the screens is cool, but I would really like to pull up on y'all in Houston.
Yeah.
Even if it's in a drive-in show or something. You know, I like to perform my stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to actually touch the people and get out there and get a reaction. So I would like to 2021 get out here and be able to perform some of this, and hopefully this sickness is gone and I can get actually out to Houston and touch the people, bro.
I do want to ask you just before we go too, you know what I'm saying? Because you are a performance, you know, a performance MC, you know what I'm saying? So when you go on the stage, you're going to blow it down. Like, how long did it take for you to master your craft inside the studio? Because your ad libs, your doubles, your singing, like you seasoned, you've been doing this for a long time. But how long before you got that good, got comfortable with your voice and actually knew what you wanted to project out there, because I hated my voice for years. It wasn't until like I became a man, became confident who I was as a person in real life, where I was like, oh, that's me right there all day. Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I think that it's for anybody to keep it real with themselves is to continue progress, man. And I think that I like where I am. I'm not where I want to be yet. I think I learned a lot when I was inspired by the fact that I heard that Alicia Keys still takes piano lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever get comfortable. Like, so I would say it's just been a continued progression, man. I could play you some whack Kaze songs for sure. You know, I could play you some bunk songs that you'll never hear come outside. You know, it'll be one-on-one you hear them, but I think it's the progression of that. And I gripe sometimes about shows like Empire and things like that when the dude walks right in, cut the beat on, and then they just freestyle the song in one take. Homies making the beat at the same time, and they nail it in one take, and homie just walks out the studio and they press it and it goes plat. I hate that because that's not how it goes.
Never has.
Right. It's the 10 whack takes to get to the 11th one that was good. Save it, wake up tomorrow, think about that. Do I still like it? I'm about the process, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that it's just been continually since like 18, 19 years old, man, trying to figure out and having them deals. I'll say this, having them deals go wrong. There was an evaluation of myself where I looked at myself in the mirror because I was like, if I was hot enough, it wouldn't have went wrong. And that's just being real with yourself. We can blame what happened, what they didn't do, but then I had to come home and look in the mirror and say, what's not happening here? Do I need to get back in the gym? You know, do I need to work on my melodies, my bars? Maybe I need to start producing myself. You know what I'm saying? I think that kills your pity party when you get back to the work. I think cats get caught up in the disappointment of the pity party, and I have myself at times. But that'll pull you so low, you'll quit. When if something push against you, then I want. You think that's whack? Well, let me show you what's dope. I'll be back next week, like an open mic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like a battle. Like, oh, right. Yeah, okay.
You caught me this week. That was whack.
I ain't know you was ready. All right, I got you.
Be here next week.
Yeah.
When I pull up with his fire.
Yeah.
I think I carry that, just that type of energy because every song, like I said, everything ain't been hot and a lot of opportunities. I'm like, damn, I guess that won't hot enough for y'all, huh? So it's continuing, and I want the next set of what I put out to wipe this. I think I'll continue the journey of it. So, I appreciate the compliment, man, because the element of singing, songwriting, and production is something that like I want to be known for. In the same way that a Pharrell or anybody else, that I can offer that to other artists as well. Even if you ain't trying to like rock with mine, I can plug into you, or what can I do for you as an artist? So putting that out there to anybody watching as well.
Yeah, man, just like that, man. Before we get first, I want to say thank you again, bro. For real, like, man, like I really love what you're doing, man. I can't wait to see the progress, man. Anything we can do to help you, I already know. Before we get out of here, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, where they can find your music, if they need a feature, like anything, how they reach you, everything.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Quarantine Chronicles, you know what I'm saying? And the Core 94. So yeah, you can reach me at Kaze 4 letters on Instagram. If you hit me up on myurls.com/Kaze 4 letters. It's all my links to everything. You know what I'm saying? But definitely hit me on the gram, Kaze 4 letters, Twitter at Black Kennedy. And on Facebook, I'm maxed out right now, but you can find me on there, Kaze and Kevin Kaze Thomas. And this Thursday we broadcasting live, online live stream, 7:30 for the release of the album virtually. We under COVID protocol here in Carolina, we can't have more than 10 or 15 people indoors. So we just do it online from the studio. And so anybody want to just vibe with us, take a shot with us from wherever you are. And that'll be the next big thing until I can get with y'all, man. I look forward to that.
All right, so man.
And
Yeah.
shouts out to H-Town once again, Scarface, Ghetto Boys. Don't get me started. You know what I mean? I'm just a
Yeah,
fan of the culture y'all got down there. Lil Flip, you know, Slim Thug, everybody that y'all support independence.
for
And
sure.
I just appreciate that. You know, that's what I am. And I would, you know, I need Carolina to get like y'all. Cats can out the trunk. Y'all made that a thing. And so I followed that vibe, and that's what we back on, just digitally out the trunk. So appreciate
Mhm.
y'all.
No doubt, man. Wrapping up another episode of the Quarantine Chronicles. I'm your host, DG Bags. You can find me on Instagram at DG Bags. That's at DGBAGGS and at the Core 94. And make sure you tune into the core94.com. We give you the hottest music, the hottest interviews, the hottest content, period. I'd like to thank my guest, Kaze, aka Kaze 4 Letters. You know what I'm saying? Represent Vibe House, aka Mr. Lightning Boy. You know what I'm saying? The man with the plan. Make sure y'all tune into everything he got going on. My man is hot, super dope in its own lane. I love it right now, man, because we don't have music where we can go and find music for the emotions that we feel. You know what I'm saying? Everything's at the same BPM, the same time. And I love that too. I love football, but I also love basketball. I also love track. I also love to watch tennis and things like that. There's other sports out there. There's other lanes. You know what I'm saying? It's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Kaze, for real.
You mind if I say something on the way out, man? I
Go
just
ahead,
want to.
Pop.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because the name of the album, A Thousand Shades of Black, I didn't mention this earlier, but that's exactly why I called it that, because the diversity and blackness, bro, that we do rock and roll, we do hip hop, soul, country, we swim, we fish, we dance, we do everything, we ice skate. That there is 1,000 shades of black, not one of them is less black than the other. And, you know, I think at times, you know, we're made to feel less or more about whatever you're doing. That's white boy stuff, or you talk like you white, or you know, if you because you smart, you a nerd, and that makes you uncool. And so, like, I'm just trying to make a statement about the diversity and blackness, and that being okay, man. That whatever shade of black you are is solid. You know what I mean? So I
For
want
real.
to make sure I mention that.
1,000 Shades of Black. Go get that.